If you come from an industry that is quite crippled, such as mine, travel guides and aviation industry, you might be trying to resort to any other job. On this video, we'll be giving you 5 top tips in acing job interviews. Towards the very end, I'll be giving you a bonus tip that helped me reach the final interview to my dream job. I didn't get the job at the very end, unfortunately, but it helped me reach that point and really show what I'm made of. This coronavirus pandemic, everybody's shifting careers, they're moving to other industries. It's quite hard, there's a lot of competition, especially nowadays. I'm here to fix it for you. This information that I gathered has helped me a lot. Out of 150 candidates, I was among the last 2 candidates. So let's start with the first tip. Before I do that, let me introduce myself. My name is Orlando. You're watching WishCasting. We do travel guides and aviation related content. If you're interested in this content, consider subscribing. The number 1 tip that I want to give you today is use the resources that you have at your disposal. When you're applying for a job, there are job requirements, there's a job description. You shouldn't just be reading them, you should be there dissecting them and trying to understand as much as you can in depth what the company wants from the candidate that is applying. How will they know that you have and possess those qualities? You have to show it in your CV. So make sure that when you read the job description and the requirements, these are reflected on your CV. Companies nowadays use ATS scanners, which are applicant tracking systems. And these track and understand and try to figure out through algorithm-based systems if your CV is tailored for that job. If it is not, you're not going to be shortlisted to the actual interview with a recruiter face-to-face. If you're applying for a job where customer service is necessary, hospitality is necessary, knowing Microsoft Excel and PowerPoint is necessary, and other factors, well, anything that you see in the job description, make sure that these are on your CV. If you don't possess these skills, at least try to figure out which ones you do and put them at the very beginning so the recruiter sees them right away and might think that you're a good fit. Even though a couple of those skills they mentioned in the job description are missing, you can still learn them, so they'll be more tolerant towards you. On the other hand, if you forget doing this and you just put the random skills that you possess through other job experiences that you've had, and you're not tailoring it for that job description, for that position, you're not going to get the job. My second tip is apply for multiple jobs. Don't apply for a single job. If you don't pass that job interview, you're going to be frustrated. You're going to fall into depression. You're going to feel like the whole world collapsed on you. And throughout the interview, you're going to want it so desperately that the recruiter will actually see that you are being desperate. But if you have multiple options, and maybe options that you care for more, this job interview is going to be like a breeze for you because you won't actually care that much and you're not going to stress over it. So always apply for multiple jobs. Don't apply for the single job because this will create frustration, stress, and it's going to be visible. My third tip that I want to give you today is to study the company's values properly and make sure that these company values are reflected in your CV as well, especially in your career summary or career objective. Try to make it fall in line with the company's values. If they see that you've done research and you've done a correct research, for example, some charity foundations, or if they work really hard in becoming more eco-sustainable, or if they have a different approach in treating their employees, if they're great at something, really show that you studied, that you know the values, and that you know what they did and what differentiates them from other companies in the same industry. But make sure that you don't study too much. You don't want to stress out, you don't want to get too much information, and then when the interview happens, you're all like, oh my God, I can't remember anything. What's relevant? What's not? Don't get into that position because that's going to be counterproductive. My fourth tip that I want to give you today is to prepare the questions, the hypothetical questions that the recruiter may ask you throughout the interview ahead of time. What does that mean? Well, go online and type which are the common questions that are asked for job interviews. You'll come across several questions. Try to figure out an answer to those questions before the actual interview so you're already prepared. The best thing to do when you're answering questions by a recruiter is to note down in bullet points the key aspects of your answer so that you can easily remember which are the most important key aspects, because you're going to be striking off the parts that you don't think are so relevant to the question that was asked, and the only key elements that will remain are those that are relevant to the question. So if you study the questions that are usually asked by recruiters and you use the system on every single question, you will only have a succinct and direct answer to that question that makes sense. There are very common questions, then there's behavioral questions, then there's situational questions, and then there's questions that actually don't make any sense. I can give you some examples you can check down below in the description, but give or take, the ones that are on Google when you do a Google search are the ones that might be asked. So the right thing for you to do is to note these questions down and then put your bullet points in between answering to those questions and then striking out the information that is less important, so you can give a really nice bite of information of what you would answer to that question. I hope that makes sense. Now here we go with the fifth and last final tip that I'm going to give you today, and this is to rehearse and prepare. Now you have all those questions and you have those bullet points as your answers to those questions, and you know that they're good, they're succinct, they're direct. What do you have to do now? You have to try answering. You have to try to simulate this. Potentially the best thing to do is to ask to a friend of yours that you don't feel completely comfortable with, so you can simulate and recreate that situation, that environment that you will be feeling when you're with an interviewer, with a recruiter. Now I know that it might be hard for you to find a friend that is not that much of a friend that is willing to sit down for about 40 minutes and ask you these questions and simulate, but I'm sure there is someone that is willing to do that and that you don't know 100%. If you're interviewed by someone you don't know, pressure rises. And when pressure rises, it's easier for you to make mistakes and say things that you weren't meant to say, to forget those bullet points, or maybe lose your composure, use the wrong body language. And if you do so, you have to learn to correct that and fix that and manage to handle the situation better so you don't make these mistakes in front of the recruiter. This is the moment where you can make mistakes, and it's the moment for you to fix those mistakes so you do not do them in front of a recruiter. So try to simulate as many times as you can so that this becomes your second nature and you don't make these mistakes again. Now what I did is I asked my dad to help me out. My dad is professionally training individuals and doing keynote speeches, to do job interviews or to do meetings in a different language from their own native language. So he's also training people to do job interviews, CEOs, when they move from one industry to another, or they have to occupy two different job positions in two different companies. He's helping them out in knowing exactly what to answer at specific questions, tricky questions. So I asked my dad to help me out. And because I'm not extremely close to my dad, for me, this kind of built some tension, built some stress, and so this was a great simulation for me to then find the right approach with a company that I was applying for. At the time I was applying for my dream job. I was stressed about it. It was the only job I was applying for. I really wanted the job, so I was like, my stress valves were like, whew, crazy. I desperately wanted the job. This training with my dad was perfect because it helped me in facing this situation. I was able to fight for that job position till the very end. I reached the final interview. I didn't get the job, unfortunately, but that proves the point that all these tips really, really did help me out. Now I have a bonus tip. This is because you guys stayed to the very end. Thank you very much. So here goes my bonus tip. I tried to go the extra mile on everything. My CV was completely tailored for the company I was applying for. Colors, fonts, even my tie was the same color of their company. But the thing that really separated me and made me stand out from other candidates and allowed me to reach the final interview was the fact that I physically went to the company's headquarters and conducted my brief, and I bonded with people, with the staff that was there, and they helped me out, I helped them out, I remembered their names, and because I got to know them personally, and I learned their names when I did my job interview, and I told them that I went to the company's headquarters and I knew the names of those people, this kind of opened their mind to the fact that I am really dedicated and I'm willing to really put my energy and put emphasis in doing things right. I'm going at a different speed than other people, and so I really deserve to go to the next phases. We don't generally do advertisements. We're not paid to say this, and we're not collaborating yet. I hope that we will collaborate on something with this cool YouTuber. I believe this YouTuber has around 135, maybe more, thousand subscribers. So it was actually really nice to be mentioned on her channel. Her channel's name is JetGirl, and her name is Marqueta. I'm sorry if I didn't mention you earlier. I was extremely busy applying for jobs all over the place. Well, actually 2 jobs. And I was busy getting through every single phase. But I wanted to thank you for mentioning us and talking for 2 minutes straight about our channel, maybe more than 2 minutes, and saying so many nice things It really made us feel like VIPs.
There is a channel, it's called WishCast, I think? Something like that. Amazing channel. There's this guy, Orlando. I'm pretty sure his girlfriend is from Czech Republic. So hi guys, if you're watching this, we need to get in touch. But his videos are amazing, you guys. He has super nice educational videos about the job at Emirates, how to get there. He has actually a course, a whole course on how to get to Emirates, like how to prepare for an interview. He has loads of videos about how the COVID situation changed, you know, jobs at Emirates and what's been happening and all the updates. Really amazing.
I think it's the first time that someone did a video on YouTube and I was watching it from home and somebody was saying my name out loud.
I'm pretty sure we flew together, Orlando. If you're looking, if you're watching, I'm 100% sure we flew together on one of the flights with Emirates, because he's very familiar to me. But definitely go check it out because I think he's putting so much work into those videos. I highly, highly, highly recommend.
It felt kind of unique, but also very cool. And just thank you very much. And I wanted to return this and perhaps calling you out for a collaboration, especially now that it's coronavirus times. Maybe we can do something over the internet or some collaboration of any kind. You can come up with some ideas or you can get in touch with me. You have my email, we spoke already. Anyways, I'm talking for too long. I just wanted to say thank you. It's really nice. And I like your skin. Even Zdenka loves your skin. Sounds weird the way I'm saying it, but you know what I'm talking about. You know how to do makeup and you have great videos and a great camera and you look perfect. So we're kind of jealous about that, and we're gonna start doing some videos to be your competition from now on. I'm joking. All right, we're done with the video today. I hope these tips help you in reaching and achieving your dream job. If you like the video, smash that like button and subscribe. It does help us out. Don't think you're not helping us out. Little last thing I wanted to say. I wanted to thank Michael Didrikson, Anoret Kaur, Nathaniel Lee, Francesco Butera, Kimiso Jada, Nada Mohammed, Simone Colombani, Ravi Kumar, Matteo, and Angad Paul, which are our patrons. Thank you for supporting our channel. You're helping us out a whole lot. And I also wanted to thank our newest YouTube members, Kailita and Krishna. Thank you very much. There's a small join button next to the subscribe button. Just go down and click it and check out the perks. There's several good perks that you can have access to with super little money. And not only you're getting some benefits out of those perks, depending on the tier you choose, the more you pay, of course, the better the benefits. But you're also supporting our channel and allowing us to continue and create this channel and delivering you the best as we can. If you want to unlock those benefits and you want to support our channel, don't forget to hit the join button, not the subscribe button, the join button, and become a YouTube member. A little side note, if you become a YouTube member, every time you comment on our videos, there's a small logo with a color on the border, and we know based on that color how many months you've been a supporter. Okay? That's it from my side, just like every single purser in Emirates says, and I shall see you on our next video. Peace.